What's up guys, welcome back to Daniel Talks Football right here on YouTube. I'm Daniel and we are back with another video. In this video, we're going to be predicting how many points each side in the top 10 of the Premier League will get. Last week we did this for the bottom 10 and saw who will get relegated. And I disagree with what I said in that video. I think Leicester will go down. But we're here to see who is going to be getting the European place and who is going to be getting the Champions League, as well as who is going to win the Premier League title. Before we do get into the video, please make sure to like the video, comment down below, and also subscribe to the channel. Go and follow the TikTok and the Instagram, Daniel Talks Football, on both. Right, let's start off with Fulham now. Fulham are playing 3 games between now and the end of the season. The first one of these is away to Southampton, in which I think they will pick up all 3 points from that game. Then they've got Crystal Palace at home, in which I think they will get 1 point. And then they have Manchester City away, which I also believe they will get 1 point. That will give Fulham another 5 points between now and the end of the season. And yeah, it'd be a very, very good finish for Fulham. Next up, we have Brentford. Now, Brentford also have 3 games between now and the end of the season. The first one of these is at home to West Ham, in which I do believe they will pick up 1 point. They then have Spurs away, in which I think they will be getting all 3 points. Actually, I think Brentford will win that one. And then they have Manchester City at home, in which I think they will pick up 0 points, which will give Brentford 4 points between now and the end of the season. 8 more sides to go, and then I will tell you who I think what the finalised top 10 of the Premier League will be. Next up, we have Aston Villa. Now, they also have 3 games remaining between now and the end of the season. The first one of these is at home to Spurs, which I believe they will be picking up 3 points from. Then they go away to Liverpool, which I think the Reds will win that one, and I think Villa will be picking up 0 points. Then they have Brighton and Hove Albion at home again, which I think they will lose that one, which means Villa will be picking up 3 points between now and the end of the season. Next up, we have Brighton. They have 5 games between now and the end of the season. The first one of these is Arsenal, which I think they'll be getting 0 points from. Then they have to go to St James's Park with Newcastle, and I think they'll also pick up 0 points from that. Then we've got Southampton at home now. This is just an instinct one. I think Southampton will win that. I think they might be mathematically down by that point, and I think they'll want to put on a showing for the travelling fans. It's not too far from Southampton to Brighton, a couple of hours. So I think Southampton will win that one somehow. So Brighton again picking up 0 points there. Then they've got Man City at home again, another 0 points. But then I haven't given Brighton 0 points in this entire thing. They then do have Aston Villa away from home, which I think they will pick up 3 points from, which will put them into Europe. Next up, we have Tottenham. They also have 3 games. The first one of these is away to Aston Villa, which, as I've said, I think Villa will win that one. Then they've got Brentford at home, which, again, I've said I think Brentford will win that one. And then on the final day, they go away to Elland Road, and I think they'll pick up all 3 points versus Leeds. Next up, we have Liverpool, who also have 3 games remaining between now and the end of the season. The first one of these is an away trip to the King Power Stadium with Leicester City. Definitely no bias in what I've said here, but I think they're going to get a draw there. I hope they get a draw or maybe even lose the game. Definitely no biases in saying that Leicester are going to pick up a point there, but I think Liverpool will get 1 point. Then they've got Villa at home, which again, I think Liverpool will pick up all 3 points. Then they go away to St Mary's on the final day, in which again, I think Liverpool will get all 3 points, which will put them on 7 points between now and the end of the season. Next up, we've got Manchester United, who have 4 games remaining between now and the end of the season. The first one of these is at home to Wolves, which I think they'll pick up 3 points from. They then have to go away to Bournemouth, which again, I think they'll get 3 points from. Then it's Chelsea at home, which again, I think will be another 3 points for the Reds, before they go away to Fulham on the final day, and I think they will pick up 1 point there, which will be 10 points between now and the end of the season for Manchester United. Newcastle are another side who have 4 games remaining between now and the end of the season. The first one of these is away to Leeds, in which I think Newcastle will pick up all 3 points. Then they have Brighton at home, which again, I think they'll get 3 points from. They will then have to go to... No, they won't have to go anywhere. They'll have to go to their home stadium as Leicester come to town. I think they'll pick up 3 points versus Leicester before going away to Stamford Bridge on the final day and picking up 3 points versus Chelsea. That means I think Newcastle will pick up a maximum of 12 points between now and the end of the season. Next up, we have Arsenal. This is another side who I think will be picking up maximum points between now and the end of the season. They have 3 games left with a home fixture versus Brighton, an away fixture at Nottingham Forest, and a home fixture at Wolves. I think they'll be picking up 3 points in every single one of those games. And then we go into the final team Manchester City have 4 games remaining between now and the end of the season, and again, I think they'll be picking up 4 points in each of these. Everton away, Chelsea home, Brighton away, and Brentford away. I think they'll pick up a maximum of 12 points in those games. Now, let's have a look at what the final Premier League table will be. Right, so here is how the final Premier League table will finish. In 10th place, we have Fulham. Fulham are going to finish on 53 points, and the Cottagers will be getting mid-table, a very good first season back in the Premier League for Marco Silva's men. In 9th place, we have Brentford. Thomas Frank's Brentford will be picking up 54 points by the end of the season, just 1 point more than Fulham. Going to be getting themselves into 9th place. No European for the Bees. No European football for the B side, but a very, very good season nonetheless. In 8th place, just missing out on European football by 1 point, we have Aston Villa. Aston Villa will be finishing the season on 57 points and will be missing out on European football. They will be pipped on the final day by Brighton. Brighton will be finishing in 7th place on 58 points, 1 point more than Aston Villa, and that means they will be getting European football, and the Seagulls will be going into the Conference League next season. Next up, we have 6th place, and in 6th place it's going to be Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham are going to be finishing up on 60 points. Tough season for Spurs, but they will be getting Europa League football, and that is a fine season. It's not great. It's obviously there's been a lot of difficulties with Conte coming and Conte leaving, and then the Stellini mess, but a rebuild this summer, and they'll be able to do that in the Europa League. 5th place, we have Liverpool. Liverpool will be finishing the season on 69 points, 4 points off the side in 4th place. However, Liverpool will not be getting Champions League football, and Klopp's men will be playing in the Europa League with Spurs next season. Now we get into the top 4. And in 4th place, we have Manchester United. United will be finishing the season on 73 points. A very good first season from Ten Hag. Obviously, he's won that trophy in the League Cup. And they've still got the FA Cup final to come, of course. If they can maybe get that as well as a Champions League spot next season, it'll be a very, very successful first season for Ten Hag. In 3rd place, we have Newcastle United. Newcastle will finish the season on 77 points, finishing in 3rd place. A very excellent first full season for Eddie Howe after he came in last season. Very, very good finish for Newcastle, and it looks like Champions League football will be coming to St James's Park. 2nd place is Arsenal. Just missed out on the league here. They've missed out by 4 points in the end. I think they'll be getting 90 points, and that's gutting to miss out on the league with 90 points, obviously. But it's rough because, look, they dropped some points. People are classing that slipping up. I don't think that's a slip up. I think if you're expected to win a league title without slipping up at all, and without, kind of making any mistakes, you're allowed to make mistakes in the season. Man City have become so formidable that you're not allowed to do that anymore. But yeah, Arsenal, I think, will be finishing in 2nd place. And then in 1st place, the side I have just mentioned, Manchester City. Pep Guardiola's men finishing on 94 points, 30 wins, 4 draws, 4 losses. Excellent season from the Sky Blues. What do you think? Who do you think is going to win the league? Who do you think is going to get top 4? Who do you think is going to get European football? Let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you all again in the next video. See ya!